Yes, sir. Yes.
Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, and challenging norms. Pop,
What
how are
the
ya?
fuck is this?
My news
The
anchor
one
intro?
day... No, we're going to talk about van life. And the one day you decide to be in your van. And he disconnects. What is this? He had Bluetooth on. I swear to God.
And we're back, baby. That was a rip-roaring intro. I can hear you. I can hear you. My mic disconnected.
No, dude. Keep it connected and explain yourself.
Am I uploading? Hold on, we can't properly start this. This is ridiculous. This is worse than van life. Okay, Pop, I'm going to do one of those sentences where at the end of it you say, you heard me, okay? In 3, 2, 1, go, Pop.
Now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, and challenging norms. Maybe we played that twice. Maybe we did it twice.
It was like a second pause. There's no need for the intro. Hey, brainwash him. How about that? Yes, dude. Explain yourself. I swear to God. You ready this time?
Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, challenging norms. Third time's the charm, baby. What's up, Pop?
Had a lot of tea coming in. I don't like this. I just want an explanation. That's all I want.
I don't have one. I've got my dongle like calling on all my electronics, using them for different things. It's not working here.
Hey, tech happens. I don't know why your house moved indoors.
Well, I'm in a different house. I am at my mom's late father's second wife's house. Because they're in Chicago and we're here because they're away and we can stay.
It's that desperate, huh?
Yes.
They smell blood.
Van
They're like,
life.
I think we have a distant non-relative that has a home that you might be able to use.
It's the distancist. I hadn't seen him in 10 years. Saw him twice in the last couple weeks just so that we could come here.
Well, they have great wood paneling behind you. It doesn't look like mahogany, but I don't know another wood. So that's what it is. Hey, tune in on YouTube. This is awesome. We're awesome. We're going to talk today about... that's ADHD.
It's
you
fake.
mention something and he gets lost in the cupboards with nothing
It's
in
a
them.
veneer.
That's even freakier.
They just moved in. So they just moved into this house and we're squatting.
Hey, that's how it does. Okay, so today I wanted like a recap, because here's the thing. A lot of people ask me about you, Belky, and like, hey, what's Henry doing? Like that guy that you do business with and are friends with. And I'm like, I think he lives in a van. And then recently I realized you've just been squatting in the same place with that van for a while. Like I learn about you through the vlog. It's kind of like how my family learns about me through the podcast. I don't really ask you questions, maybe because I'm not curious, but today I'm curious. Because I need the update, like what's been happening. We did try a little van life episode a while back, but then I also realized there ain't a lot of gas just asking you questions, and that's no fun for nobody but me. So then I want to get a little history of the van. I got into it. I hit a wormhole,
that's why we're late?
I got sucked right through, dude.
You're watching box videos about vans?
You better watch out.
Oh.
I learned a lot. Hey, you want it? What do you want? You want?
Give me. No, Pop. Yeah. What? I'll give it to you. What do you want?
I don't really know. It was kind of like I'd figured the sentence out as I went. I'm in between just giving the history of the van and then getting into Q&A, or we do a Q&A. And I swear to God. Yeah.
What mic am I coming through?
It sounds good still.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I don't know what's cooking in that
This
kitchen,
isn't a
but
good.
you got to cut it
This
out.
technology is not a good look for houses everywhere, and I'm about to move out of the van. So, Pop, what I wanted to give you, because you asked me many
Watch
months
out.
ago,
Houses everywhere.
houses
You're going to
everywhere.
have one less resident. Occupant.
I wanted to give you some surprises about the van, some learnings, some insider tips that only you would know from living in a van for 6 months. Does that fit your agenda?
All right. Hey, we'll keep that at the end. I want to do some history because it's fresh on my mind. Belky, first thing.
My episode, your history. We'll send it to the end.
Your
Send
words,
it to the end.
my action. Hey, inside jokes. Let's do some more of them. You know what the fuck van means?
I swear to God. I swear to God. Van.
Am I stupid? I never knew what van
Vehicle?
meant.
Ancillary vehicle. Auxiliary vehicle. But backwards.
No, dude. It's short for caravan. Dude, cut out one more time. I love it. I love when a mic cuts out. Nothing better, dude. Why do I need audience reaction? Oh my God. I'm gonna lose my shit. You're still not even it don't work. It don't work.
Am I here now?
Yeah, but I'm holding on tight, Fleance. I don't know if I can hold you here. The Russians.
And go, Pop.
Here's the thing. I
Compose-
know it's going to
compose?
stop again.
Compose.
It takes a lot
Give me
to
the
get
history
this
of
tea
a
up.
caravan.
Hey, let me give you another quick thing real quick because I've been on a Rory Sutherland kick. He's like, the beauty of Tesla is it's going to end road rage. And I say that not because of the obvious, like, oh, people are just autopiloting, you're not really driving, you don't care, so it's just like, it's not your problem. But he's like, the regenerative braking, where every time you brake, it like slows and recharges the battery, that now makes your car just slow really fast. So if someone like speed checks you or there's a red light or something, you naturally, oh my God. I was sweating way too much in that shirt. Can't have it. We're not going to do it. I think he left for good, actually. We'll end it there. How about that? That's Smart Nonsense Podcast.
No chance we get stopped today, baby. Smart Nonsense Podcast. Take 4. No chance, Russians.
It's even more. It could be even
5,
more.
6, 8. Pop, I have troubleshooted and debugged everything. I restarted everything. I've got 3 Wi-Fi sources. They're all running rampant speeds. I got rid of the AirPods. I think that's the problem. We're plugged in. We're locked and loaded. I want the tea back, baby.
Hey, I always got the tea. That's the thing. I've been juiced up. There's a lot of energy, and I'm not certain, but I might be able to photosynthesize.
You know what's
Here's
funny?
what's going on, okay? I
You know
wanted to
what's funny?
say... What?
Nothing has happened for the audience. We're out here freaking out, pacing around, yelling, boosting the T levels, and it's been like a second on the podcast.
Right. They're like, what happened to the regenerative braking? Here's what happened, all right? Teslas are awesome because they brake faster and it's juicing the battery. So now if someone
no,
in front of
no,
you is driving like
no.
a maniac...
It's going to be a good clip, Pop.
Oh, you want it from the start?
I want it from
Okay.
the start. Why am I out of focus?
Hey, baby birds, if you're listening, you're like, I already got half and it's kind of connected. Why you got to start it from the start? Because we started from the start. Here's what we got, all right? I was getting angry. And I'm like, life's really angry. But know what doesn't make you angry? A Tesla. Teslas, they are just the absolute road rage antidote. Why? Not because the juicy autopilot that's like, hey, I'm just chilling, watching shit on my phone, Instagram scrolling through, and I don't drive the car. Not because of that. It's because regenerative braking. As in, you're driving, and anytime you brake, you don't even have to brake. The shit just slows down and it charges the battery. So you're like, oh, even though I'm going a lot slower, I'm getting more juice. I don't know how the math and the physics works, but it ain't hurting me as much. It's a little win-lose. I'm like, I can do a win-lose. So now,
You're talking
next
into
time
so
you're
many
driving and
catchphrases.
someone speed checks you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Win-lose.
It's just like a lose-lose, win-win. It's a win-lose, lose-win.
Catchphrase. Go on.
Thanks for that. So the point being, if someone brake checks you, or even driving today, we hit like 3 stoplights in a row, and it was noticeably like, I wish they timed these lights better. But it's like, no, it's fine, because the car's going to brake anyway if we take our foot off the gas. So even though we don't have a Tesla, I wish we had a Tesla. We got angry because we didn't have a Tesla. But Elon Musk, he's smarter than that, and he invented regenerative braking. He didn't invent it. He just implemented it. How about that?
So how does that? Yeah, the Prius ripped regenerative braking in 2005. How does that clear road rage?
Yeah, they might have had it. Because a lot of the road rage, like you get pissed if someone brakes on you or there's a red light because you now have to like fuck up all your inertia. You were just gassing it up, and on this 60 miles an hour, now you're like, oh damn, I gotta brake to 0 or like drastically slow down. But now you take your foot off the gas and the car automatically does it. It's like,
so
hey, take your foot off the
okay,
gas.
you default to
electric.
braking.
Take your foot off the electric.
You still got
It's a
sniffleupagus.
default to braking, so I do, dude. I think it's because I'm part plant, and there's a lot of that plant sperm flying around. What do you call that? Pollen. It's everywhere. That's actually what it is, right?
Let me tell you a little one about regenerative braking. I'm starting to slur my words because I just pounded a cup of coffee because I was really frustrated about this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Get it together. Certainty pop. I was at Disneyland yesterday. The morning was a nightmare because you're trying to wrangle everyone. You're trying to get on lines. You don't know what the wait times are. You don't know the ETAs. Disney has this thing. It's called the Genie in the app. It's like Lightning Pass. And for $20, you can add it to your ticket. And the Genie plans your day for you and helps you get in like Lightning Pass lanes. And so once we turned on the Genie, we paid like $100 to have it on everyone's ticket. The certainty we had made the day so magical. So magical.
Really?
I'll tell you how the day started off. Let me go back. The day started off with my brother. So one of the first rides we go on, we're trying to get his 5-year-old daughter on it. She's like 41.9999 inches tall, and you got to be 42 inches to ride. At the front of the line, they measure. Oh boy, is right. At the front of the line, they measure height. And she is just by the skin of her teeth rubbing on that, by the skin of her hair, I mean, rubbing on that height measurement. Then we wait 30 minutes in line. There's a little uncertainty in those 30 minutes. We get to the front where they're going to let us on the ride. They measure again, Pop. Not even close. It's a different measuring stick. It's a different measuring stick. My brother,
dude, they using metric,
loses
it.
He loses it because of all the uncertainties floating around, which we're going to get back to. He goes off. Karen. He's Karening her. This poor cast member goes,
dude.
Sir, I'm experiencing resistance from you. It's making me uncomfortable. I'm going to take a step back now. I need you to leave. I need you to leave.
Dude.
First of all, let me go on another tangent, Pop. We had this self-defense class in high school called Step Back. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Someone approaches you. You go,
step
stop.
back and attack, dude.
I'm leaving now. And you take a step back. And that's supposed to disarm someone. I'll tell you what. It disarmed my brother. It disarmed him immediately. We left. He gave someone else peace of mind.
He was a threat.
Here's the morning, and we're going to get back to the certainty. Then we're standing in line trying to get some popcorn. And this this is all in the morning. This is when I texted you and Sean that Disneyland is a freaking nightmare if you're our age. So many sights, sounds, music, characters, smells. Horrible. We're standing in line to get some popcorn. This grown-ass man who has just come off the teacups, the spinning teacups, he's just walking along. Almost threw up on the ground right next to us. Just throws up everywhere. Keeps walking. Keeps walking.
He kept walking. Just no remorse.
Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. Keeps walking. So, right after all of that, we initiated the genie in the Disney app for $20 a ticket.
Dude.
And it puts you in every line. We could order lunch. We sit down. Our food is there. It was a sick day after that. Thanks to Certainty. Thanks to Rory Sutherland.
Kind of the beauty of everything. Everything where there's just like a little paywall. Like, you get a flash pass at Six Flags. That was the shit back in the day. Or you get a pre-check or a global entry going on planes. It's just like, you feel so dope. It feels criminal. I'm like, I paid $100 for a 5-year pass, which comes with my credit card even, for like global entry. And now I just cut every line there ever is in the airport. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't, like, I'm sorry for y'all, but this is dope. Same thing, I read this thread a while back. I think maybe it was Nathan Barry. He's like, the hack to Disneyland or Disney World is if you have like a family of 5 or more, just buy this personal tour. And it might cost like a couple grand, but you're going to spend, I don't know, half that on tickets alone. So just get the tour, and now you get immediate access to every ride you want to go to. You never have to wait for a single line. Everything's just itineraried and ETA'd out. So it's like this
Behind the
wonderful
scenes.
Genie times 10 experience.
Yeah. So
it's
two things.
magical, dude.
I couldn't
Even
believe
though I've never
more
gone.
people. I couldn't believe more people didn't pay $20 for this thing because the value is off the charts. Consequently, big word guy now. We could have paid $200 a ticket for that. We got so much value. Like the day just became bliss after we activated that. So
Well,
it's such a small barrier to
that's
entry.
the beauty
I can't
of us
believe no
is
one.
I can though, because people are crazy about opportunity cost. Whereas
Yep.
we value our time super highly, even though like, or at least we say we do. It's not like we don't always do it. But like even talking to my aunt today, she's like debating listing her house so that she doesn't have to pay like a 3 to 6% broker's fee. And I'm like, hey, I mean, you can do that and probably save like 50 grand. But you also have to become a professional broker and list your house for
3
months and
months.
months on end. And it's like, do you want to do that? But they don't really have the flexible income. But it's just nice because now it's a blue ocean for us to come and just enjoy for like $20 or whatever it is. One thing I was also thinking, this is one of those like expectations or happiness equals reality minus expectations. It's just like, why don't you just put the bigger measuring stick at the start? And then it's like the smaller one, or at least have them the same size. But like, if you're going to fuck it up the opposite. So if the kids never get in the door, they're like, oh, I'm not big enough. 'Cause
Right.
You don't
Why
know
was
what
my brother
42
pissed?
inches is.
It was because we waited for 30 minutes with the expectation and excitement we were going to get on the ride. If they just said from the get-go, you're not going to
can't.
get on, our expectations would have been, it's what we expected. We knew it was going to be close. And then she got it, and we were stoked. And then 30 minutes later, she gets thrown out, and that's when the expectations go haywire.
That's where
Or reality, sorry.
I stopped trying to sneak into like lounges and business class and like first class on airplanes because there's just a lot of anxiety. Like I know there's probably an 80% chance that I get in that seat and I could ride it out, and I've done it before. But the whole flight, you just got like 10% blood pressure through the roof, and you're like, hey, I don't think this is worth it. I'm gonna go back and coach with my gente.
Mi gente. What does that mean?
Hey, what do we want to talk about? This is
Wait, I got one more.
big detour because of connection issues. Oh, 2 more.
2 more. 1 more. Wait, what's the teaser? Are we talking about the van in this episode?
We're talking about the van, dude.
Okay.
The caravan.
Okay. I got one more. Oh, this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
Terrible start. I was out yesterday at Disneyland, right? And I came back today.
Yeah, rub it in, dude.
I pretty much do all the operations. So I came back today and I was slaughtered by all the shallow work, the emails, the notifications, people needing stuff. And I asked you if I told you my newest mental model, which I figured out a couple weeks ago. The work week bell curve. This is a quick one. Basically, the work week is a bell curve. When you come out of the weekend, people are still in a lull. They're coming into Monday, Tuesday. They don't really have anything going on. They don't want to ruffle any feathers, so they're quiet. Then Wednesday rolls around, and people are like, "Oh shit, half the week's over. I got to make all my requests. I need these tasks done. I got to get these projects. My boss is gonna be mad." And then that's the top of the bell curve. And then Thursday and Friday, people are looking forward to the weekend, and there's really little. So you're asking, like, how do you get volume of all that stuff down? And I realized, I was out on Wednesday. Wednesday is the peak of the bell curve. I've been thinking these past few weeks, it's like, how do I prepare for the Wednesday bell curve barrage? And then I realized I was out yesterday, so it all makes sense. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess it's like you're getting up to speed the first couple days, then you're slowing down with your regenerative braking the last two, and it's like Wednesday's just that hump day peak.
Yes, dude.
Hey, that's neat, dude. Great contribution. I hope we can
Well,
get
so
you out
here's
of
what
there,
I was
'cause
thinking.
My mom's like, what do you do? Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Here's what's interesting. I'm like, okay, if I were to get a part-time VA or chief of staff, I would initiate the launch sequence with them Tuesday through Thursday. I'd be like, all hands on deck. If they're working part-time, start Tuesday, dial it up Wednesday, and then Thursday, That's how I would start with like a VA.
Yeah.
I wonder if people have also observed this in the workplace.
I got a little frame battle with my brother right now about who's going to find what we're doing for Mother's Day. And it's kind of funny. He's like, yo, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know, go to Newport restaurant. He's like, all right, cool, send me some options. And I'm like, that's not how this works. I'm like, if you beat me to sending the options, I'll pay for it. Just like, I'm like, I don't want to look this up right now. It's a pain in the ass. But okay. Hey, let's talk about vans. Vans are cool. Vans came out of nowhere.
Van Neistat.
You want the history of the van? That's another person with the name with van in it. Okay. At the start of this, we both learned that van is short for caravan. Belky, do you know what a caravan is?
I think it was like Moses and the caravan gallivanting through Egypt, going to Israel, something about the Israelites and the Hebrews, and man, that caravan ran deep, dude. That's what I know about caravans.
Dude, deepest. I don't know. According to this source, it's like a trailer pulled by a horse. So like whatever, you got some shit in the back and a horse pulls it. That's apparently what a caravan is. And then you can run deep if you want to run deep. Yeah. The gypsies, they rip caravans. That's their thing. But I wanted to get a little history just to give us some context, backstory on why Belky is living in a van. Because that's a pretty radical idea. There it is. Okay, so when's like, I guess caravans were a thing for a while, but then when did they get like opulent? You weren't doing this to like live. Well, I guess in the history, there's like the caravan to me is like you're moving all your shit across country. Like there's the like stagecoach and those wagons that went on the Oregon Trail and all those things, but I don't think of that as like a van necessarily. But they had this thing. It's like the first, I guess, like RV, trending towards the RV or like modern day van that they had. This guy came up with this land yacht in 1880. He was in Britain, out by London, actually Berkshire. And I didn't even know Berkshire was I didn't realize Berkshire Hathaway, that's like a place in England. I didn't even realize. But this dude, he built out this badass like 20-foot by 11-foot ceilings, all mahoganyed out. That's why I used that word before, because it's fresh on my mind.
If that makes the cut.
Basically, I don't know what's going to make the cut. I hope it does. It was a lot of TNT.
5 podcast episodes ago this morning.
he built out this badass horse-drawn caravan with mahogany. He had like kitchen. What the hell do you have? Instruments, Persian rugs. He had the shit laid out, and it was like the first. Oh wow, what is that? Like you could live in that sort of thing, and the dude just lived in it and went all the way up to Scotland, which is like 1,300 miles north of London. I'm like, I didn't even realize Scotland was part of the same island.
Dude, I got no idea where it is.
I guess Ireland's.
There's Northern Ireland. There's Ireland. There's the United Kingdom. Some of them aren't in the UK. Some of them are.
Ireland's like its own little island.
Yeah.
And then Scotland's just like the northern. They're like the Canada of North America.
Northern Ireland's
England
another thing
is
not
US.
in the UK. Or it's in the UK, but the other one isn't.
Hey, I don't know what they do, but I think they fight every now and again. Point
Over
being,
religion.
he made this dope-ass land yacht, but it only... I was back on the land yacht. He made it. It goes like 2 miles an hour, and I guess it took him fucking eons to get up north to Scotland, which is connected to England. But okay, that's like kind of boring. It gets more interesting as we go. 1910, this guy... Well, not this guy. This company is called Pierce Arrow Motor Company, car company. I don't know. Shit lasted like 30 years. I think it flunked, but it was like this outdoor vehicle thing. The Touring Lando. It was this badass. They just took it to the next level, where like normal cars,
Are you getting
people
carpet
would make
bombed?
like 200 to 400. Oh, do you hear all this?
Yes.
They're
It's like Hiroshima out there. What are they mowing the lawn?
fuck. Oh, you'll see him now. Look at him going.
Oh, dude.
Yawn, dude. Yawn.
You don't need a riding mower that big to do your little front lawn. From what I can see.
No, dude, it's a half acre. It's a half acre.
Okay. It's a half acre.
I don't know who came up with the acre. That's kind of.
I'll put you out
enough,
there
dude.
with a push mower. Spin it around.
Dude, I went to my aunt's, and I looked. One of our neighbors, it was like the first job I ever had. I was probably like 10 years old, and I had to push mower his yard. Oh, it wasn't like a push. It had like at least a little bit of a motor, but it was like $25, and it blew my mind. It was that much, but it was also 95 degrees out, and I almost died of a heat stroke. So. Hey, that didn't mean anything to anybody, but that's my first official job. As an
You know what
underage
I want to
kid.
do? I want to
okay.
roll a guy cutting a lawn with a fucking scythe, dude. Have you seen that? He's got the Grim Reaper
No, dude.
scythe. Just.
I have
We'll roll it on
seen some
YouTube.
dude on YouTube. That's lit as. Yeah,
Scythe?
dude.
Scythe?
The Amish rip. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Whatever. I'm sorry about the dude cutting my lawn, but okay. So most people made like $200-400 a year, which is a lot back in 1910. But then this, I don't even give a shit about this story. The only thing I liked about it was this CW Post. He made like Oreos, Raisin Bran, Grape Nuts, Fruity Pebbles. Like he owned that business. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, here's the cool shit that I got distracted with Vox. Okay. How do I start this? Okay.
Start.
So there were
How do
these
you finish?
hooligans. I just want to do my Q&A.
How do I
I
start
don't have
this
questions. I
halfway
hope you're ready.
through the history?
No, that was like, I don't know what history that is. But okay. So let's go back to like 1914. All right.
Dude,
1914.
We got to 1910 and you stopped the history. Fruity Loops?
I went
There were
forward 4
a
years.
fruit- Okay.
Let me go. All right. 1914. Henry Ford, right? A couple years ago, in 1908, he came out with the Model T, and there was this dude, this basically like the Bill Nye of nature back in the day. His name was John Burroughs. He's this badass beard. He was just like super nature guy, and he's like, hey, we got to conserve the planet. Model T comes out. He's like, hey, this is bad for the planet. He starts talking to Henry Ford. Henry Ford's like, yo, dude, you're whack. but they start becoming friends. They just hang out. He actually sends him a Model T, and even though he called it like a demon on wheels, he's like, oh, this shit's kind of sick. I'm like, hey, I got this buddy. Let's call him Thomas Edison. I don't even know. Did you know they were like mentor buddies?
No.
Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, they were boys. So Henry Ford, he goes to Edison. He's like, yo, Edison, I got this other guy, John Burroughs. You want to do something crazy and go booling in the woods for a while? And they're like, yeah, that shit sounds sick, but we need a fourth. So like, all right. They find this other guy, Silverstone. Harvey Silverstone, the guy that
Shel
Silverstone tires. And like, that same guy. So no, it's not the same guy at all. He reads children's books that rhyme. But Firestone, the guy that makes tires and rubber company, they all pool together. They come up with the Vagabonds. It's like the most powerful people in the country just are like, yo, boys, let's just hit a road trip, hit nature, hang out. So they go all out to the woods and they're like, got this literal dozens and dozens of cars, and they're just caravanning around the country, and they like they pretend like they're people of the people, where they're like hanging out, sleeping on the stars, but really they got like private chefs, 5-star experience. They got this Lazy Susan that's like a 20-person table, and you just see them and they're spinning around food. But it was the first like, we're gonna make this auto camping, or like taking your car and like camping and like exploring the shit. And so now it turned into this big publicity stunt because the dopest people of the generation were all traveling around, and they did it for like 10 years. The Burroughs guy died in like 21, and they subbed him out for Harding, President Harding. He's like, yo, let me ball with the boys. And
I've
Edison,
never heard of President Harding.
He even called the no, dude, he's a sleeper. He was in the Roaring 20s, and they were ripping, so it's like you couldn't really do wrong back then. But I think Edison would call the Firestone guy, he'd call him dude. So just like picture Edison just rolling through the woods. He's like, yo, dude, come over here. And it's like, oh, that's Edison, dude. I thought it was really cute. So that was like the start of this going out with your car into like nature and exploring the world. And they had to shut it down like 10 years after they started, just because it popped off and everyone's like trying to follow them around. Like, hey, we just want to be in nature. We don't really want it to blow up that much.
Did that coincide with the national parks being founded?
That John Burroughs guy, he was tight with Teddy Roosevelt. So they'd bull together, and then that's when Ford started bulling with him. And then
I've never heard of Teddy Roosevelt.
The Vagabonds got together. A what?
I said I've also never heard of Teddy Roosevelt.
I know, but
it's a joke.
Is that a joke?
It's a joke.
Is that a joke?
It's a joke. Hey, that's great.
What's wrong with you?
That's great.
See, here's the thing. I haven't watched Modern or Crystalia in a while, so I don't. I felt like a fan watching that reference. I had some empathy as a fan. I'm like, oh, that's
what's wrong with this?
That's
guy?
Lame if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Pop, you know what's not lame?
I don't get it. What was the Teddy Roosevelt thing?
I said I didn't ever know who Harding was, and that was true. And now I made a joke that I hadn't heard of who Teddy Roosevelt was at the end of your history. Dude, it's called a callback. That was a joke? In comedy. It's a callback.
You got to do some more studying or something, because that didn't hit. Hey, what did hit? What hit? Improv's hard, dude. Improv's really hard.
You got to give me a yes.
I don't know. The band hit, dude. That was a fucking hit.
So is that the history?
No, dude.
Is that the clip?
That's, well, I don't know what that is, but I just almost boogered all over myself. Another one of those episodes with the loogie episode. Hey, I hope you like us and our personalities, because there ain't much content here. But yeah, basically the caravan, how it all started, and then people started ripping their cars once horses they started dropping the ball. They needed like real engines. And now Belky's living in a van for the last, I don't know, 200 days?
6 months. 6 months. I'm going to give you some secrets about the van. But like everything else on this podcast, it's the 11th hour now. You took the meat of the podcast. I'm just going to come in for 10% at the end. And all these people hung with us, and my tea is come and gone.
Really?
You want to know something, Pop? You want to know something? Let me hit you with one. Do you know what poop anxiety is?
I can imagine.
Did you ever, like, as a kid, if you were gonna travel or go to school or go to a friend's house, like, did you ever think like, oh, I'm not gonna poop when I'm at school, or when you're traveling, you think like, oh, we're traveling to this new place, but I'm gonna have to go poop, and it becomes this like whole thing. It's called poop anxiety.
I never had a problem with that. The thing I had a problem with, they used to call me Peeps as a kid because I'd pee a lot. And so even going to Ecuador like 2 weeks ago, it's like a 3-4 hour ride from the beach house to their city house. And I don't really want to be imposing and like stop this whole caravan of like 5-6 people and be like, yo,
That's
I gotta pee. It was, yeah. It was whatever. Basically, I felt really bad and I was nervous asking to pee because I'm like, I don't want to stop all this momentum we got going. And it was like about to hit traffic, but ended up doing it. So that was the anxiety I got, but it was pee anxiety, not pooping.
Well, imagine if it was for poop. Same thing.
That'd be worse because that's more dangerous.
It is dangerous. That's why it generates so much anxiety. So hopefully our listeners have also had poop
Is that
anxiety.
why you get BetterHelp?
For my poop anxiety?
Imagine you get on the first call, like, how can I help you? I have poop anxiety. It's like,
dude, it's real. It's real. It's real. I won't name names. We know people with poop anxiety, but I'm not going to name names. I've had poop anxiety. No, that's an inside joke. He's got no anxiety. No anxiety.
No matter where he is. Yeah, tell...
Is it my part?
I think your mic switched.
Am I here? Dude, it did switch. Can you hear me okay?
It's good enough, I guess.
We'll make this quick. I don't think audio is the reason you're going to leave this late in the pod. So, Pop, nice thing about the van. God, dude, it's the Russians. I shit in a hole every morning. I dig a hole with a shovel, and I shit in it. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Just outside where we live.
You waited until you have bad audio to say that. And that's going to be the hook.
Then that's the hook. When you shit in a hole enough times, and you're on the road, and you're pooping in gas stations, and like, you just get over the fear of like plotting your next poop. And then you realize my body is just going to tell me when I need to go poop. I don't need to be anxious about it. When I really gotta go, I'm just gonna go. Much like you shat all over the shanty walls when we were on Kilimanjaro. It's like, when you're gonna blow, that shit, it's over. So there's an inside joke and pooping in holes.
You approach pooping on the road now where you don't think about it. It's just when it happens, you just go out and dig a hole and just let loose, no matter where you are.
Probably, yeah.
You just like,
yeah. If you squat and poop in holes enough, you don't. Well, the reason this comes up is because I was thinking, wow, I went to Disneyland yesterday, and when I was like 8 years old, I would have worried all day about where I was gonna poop because I didn't want to poop in Disneyland. Now
you a multi-dayer?
Oh, dude, maybe 2. What are you?
Oh, true. I forgot. You got the gunk down there.
You know what's normal? 3 times a day after every meal, supposedly. But then you go on Quora. Dude, there is no normal. It's anxiety. Personal. I don't go to BetterHelp for this,
dude. I
haven't had.
What's funny is like living with a girl was the first time I'm like, oh, I gotta kind of plan this out. Yeah, I guess I did have poop anxiety.
You have poop anxiety. You told me a story once about a night you spent with a girl, and it was 3 a.m. And by God, you had to poop, Pop. You turned on the fan. You turned on the sink. You went in the hallway to fart, Pop.
I
You're
turn on
hiding
the
things.
shower. Dude, this girl's like, why is this guy showering at 3 a.m? Like, and yeah, I felt bad for the neighbors, and it was like this. It was this hotel, and it was like a big open area, and I just let loose, dude, and you could tell it echoed. But yeah, I got towels trying to sound dampen everything. It kind of gets bad. Oh, I brushed
Stuffing them
my
under the
teeth
door.
on the toilet just so it's like plausible deniability.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
living in a
Adam. I
van.
didn't really dig this up.
Living in a van. Well, okay, yeah. So for the audience, I'm not gonna name names, but we had a friend in China who we were like 45 minutes from home. You know, he had to go poop, and he walked all the way back to our apartment to poop. I'm saying that's poop anxiety. You want the certainty, you want the comfort of your own known toilet. If you shit in holes on the road, it's gone.
Is that what he has to do? I mean, I thought he'd go to like the Adirondacks and he'd kind of be an outdoorsy person. I thought he'd
poop anxiety.
You just need like a
terrible.
You just got to go out in the woods and dig holes. So that's like the one surprise that you didn't.
Oh, that just came to me today. That just came to me this morning. I'll give you another surprise because it relates to caravans.
Coffee.
Dude, I'm tweaking out. Tumbleweeds, they're real. You ever drive down a 2-lane highway in the desert when it's windy out? And it gets windy most days because the craziest cold nights, hot days, crazy wind patterns. Tumbleweeds are real. And you're driving down the highway just smoking tumbleweeds. You hit them, they explode everywhere. Trucks will blast them. It's like all on your windshield. There's tumbleweeds. Okay, tumbleweeds are real. Driving 4 hours a day, Pop.
Oh, you got a checklist.
When we came out here,
like
we were driving.
Prepared.
We were driving 4 hours a day, and I realized 4 hours is a lot of time to do anything. That ate up like a good portion of the day. So I think about the people that watch TV for 4 hours a day. I'm watching like an hour a night these days. If you can do deep work for 4 hours a day, 4 hours is a lot of days. I don't know what you do for 4 hours, but 4 hours is a lot of hours.
Yeah, I go on walks in the morning now, but then I get distracted and I just hang out. Oh, I keep doing these wind sprints, dude. They're sick on the beach. I'm a fucking legend out here. I actually recorded a video just so we could have some B-roll of me wind sprinting. It might be the dumbest video known to man, but I vlog, dude. Oh, that's what I wanted to say with those Boolers back with Henry Ford. They're like OG vloggers, where they just brought in their caravan a bunch of film guys, and they're just like, yo, let's rip it up. How about that?
Pop, let me hit you with two more so we can get the good folks at home out of here. Wi-Fi infrastructure in the U.S.
What do you mean? They want to live in a van, dude.
Absolute. But I don't know if this is that leapfrog thing where the U.S. was like 50 years ahead, right? And then China sees that and they leapfrog all our technology. They like cut right to the chase. They have high-speed internet on bullet trains and stuff. And we got 2 megabits per second up, 2 megabits per second down, all across the U.S. It's ass.
You know what's interesting about leapfrogging with China? Yeah. One leapfrog I never thought about was, I actually want to do this, an episode on this on credit card history. But you know how we had like a credit card and then we went to like, we had cash, then credit card, then like Venmo now? Well, in China, they just skipped right over the credit card. They just went from cash to like WeChat sending payments. I'm like, wait, you guys don't have credit cards? It's not really a thing over there. So Wi-Fi,
nice,
we dropped the ball there.
We dropped the ball, and we dropped the ball. Hey,
this is turning into like a normal
episode,
normal podcast. When we have no tea, it turns into just a normal, boring podcast.
No, it's
listicle.
Good. Wi-Fi,
bad listicle,
should be a basic human right. That's what I realized right after realizing how bad the Wi-Fi infrastructure is. You don't know how many like ghost towns and forgotten kids and shits there are with the tumbleweeds on the highway. Anyway, Wi-Fi should be a basic human right because you can do anything on the internet. And with that shitty Wi-Fi infrastructure,
you don't get access to like the world. Just even being able to consume stuff on YouTube reliably. Basic human right. I think Nabal would agree.
Yeah. Hey, I wish they wrote that in the Declaration of or Constitution. Is that what you call that document?
Yeah.
Okay,
I like
so
when
you,
I
you
list
poop
these.
in holes. Tumbleweeds are real.
Yep.
Wi-Fi sucks, but it should be better.
Let me
Move forward.
leave you.
Packages, you get it delivered to like hotels. Amazon.
Oh yeah. So Amazon, you can get packages delivered to hub lockers, which is really nice. If not that, you can get packages delivered to General Post at the post office. So wherever you are, you can just have a package sent to USPS. That's a pretty good service. Go listen to the tax episode about like why we pay for the things we pay for. You can get packages sent to a post office by putting your name. Dude,
Was that
this is a
last
ridiculous
episode
episode.
you're talking about?
I think so. Yeah, you were talking about Taleb making taxes fun, and it's like the USPS is a really amazing service.
Yeah.
For 50 cents, you can send a letter from Maine to like a 10-person town in Alaska for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Now, if you had
that is
Wi-Fi, you wouldn't need to do that.
Hey, can you really quickly give me a day in the life? I don't know. Have you done a vlog about this? Why haven't you done a
No,
day
dude.
in the life
Because
of a van lifer?
Because it's chaos. One, I never did a van tour because the van's always perpetually 80% done.
I saw
should do
your
a day in
sink
the
and it
life.
had a bunch of shit in it. And I'm like,
Storage. There's no running water in there yet.
you
I
use
gotta
that?
finish that. Our sink is just filled with crap.
Wait, oh yeah, so this is the thing, right? You're pooping in holes and you have to brush your teeth in like random bathrooms and like how do you
No,
how
I
often do you
just
bathe
brush
now?
it.
Like that's the hygiene thing.
You're like, where's the hygiene? Hygiene's poor. Hygiene is poor. You just get a bottle of water, you brush your teeth, you rinse. It's like if you were camping. I just brush my teeth on the side of the road. We shower maybe every other day at an RV campground, like state park. $1 shower for 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Oh, it's the
Dude,
same one. You just go back.
Dude, and the showers aren't calibrated. They're like 135 degrees. You turn into a lobster in there.
Dude.
It's the hottest pinky. And you can't touch anything.
Take
It's
what
just
you can get.
token in 4 minutes of scalding hot 3rd-degree burn water.
Yeah, it's too bad there's no way. That's why you just, if you're a girl with long hair, the hair just eats a lot of that heat and just seals it right out. Well, who knows what this episode was?
Dude, this is crazy. Let me leave everyone with one final thought about van life, okay? I think this is a nice place to end. This has been a crazy episode. I got to get to work. You don't need much in life. You don't need much. You need like access to clean drinking water, some Wi-Fi, a couple pairs of clean clothes, food, and like a dry place to sleep. So now I realize,
Hey,
like, when we come to a
I
house
have
like
another
this.
question.
Oh, you got another question? I'm just gonna tie a bow. Ask the
I
question.
know.
I'll tie
I
the
felt
bow.
you tying the bow, and I wanted to slip in. I guess you could tie the bow. So when you get to a house like this, continue. Then
I feel like we're at quarter speed. Hit me with the question. I'll tie the bow.
My question is: there's van life if you were just the solo vanner, and there's van life with your girlfriend who you never really lived with much before this.
Right.
How are tensions with your girlfriend? How has your love life evolved?
Oh, that's a great question. Solo
Do you
van
want to
life.
swing?
Solo van life. Buy a gun. That's what I have to say about that.
Oh, okay.
No,
But
people are
Tina's
nice.
gonna protect you if it's you two.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather die together.
Safety
Tensions.
numbers.
Here's the thing about living with your significant other in 10 square feet. I'm very go, go, go. Athena's on a different wavelength. We're different people. People come in all different shapes, colors, and sizes. when you're in tidal lock, like the Earth and the Moon inside the van, you have to do everything together. So like, if I want to go to work, we have to go to a cafe, but I need to take Athena to the campground in the morning where she likes to get her face ready, and then I want to listen to my podcast and walk. So it's like, me, you know this from when we lived together. Like, if you weren't awake, I was out the door, walking, outside, listening to stuff. It's
like the school bus in the morning. It's like, hey, it comes at 7:52. If you ain't out at the stop, it gone. That was the worst, missing the bus, dude.
But now we live in
Guilt
this thing,
trip.
so I can't just be the gone school bus.
So you're
that causes
telling me
some
I got to
tension.
trap you if I want to go on morning walks or set an alarm, but I don't like setting alarms.
Right.
That's
right,
interesting. Yeah, well, that brings you in tight because if you've survived 6 months together and seemingly want to do more, that's impressive.
Yeah, we might do another chapter next winter. It's nice that we can live in California and not be residents out here and like do that whole thing, and we just bop.
I guess, is that technically legal? I don't know. Aren't you, like, at what point would you have to pay California taxes?
Probably over 3 months or 6 months. We were vagabonds. There was once this homeless survey that came to all the vans that are in our spot in the morning. And she came to do the survey with me, and she was like, do you live in this van? I was like, yes. This is like a point in time survey. They do this from time to time. She's like, do you live in a van? I'm like, yes. She's like, do you consider yourself homeless? I was like, no. She's like, but you live. And then she caught herself, and she was like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this unbiased point in time survey. But she's like, he lives in a van. How is he not homeless? And there's this weird dichotomy of actual homeless people living in their cars, and then like affluent Ivy League kids doing it for fun and leisure. So that's interesting.
Easy, affluent, super successful.
So successful over here. Can I get back to tying the bow?
That's a callback. I hope you tie it, dude. You're in a house. What's a house like? You want to live in houses for the rest of your life?
Yeah, so if you live in a van, even for a week, for a month, you get really grateful for like being in a house where you have stability. You have your certainty. That's a callback, baby. You can take a hot shower. You can go for your walks in the morning. You can get food delivered and packages delivered. And I think we're a lot more grateful for apartment living and house living. So you don't need much in life.
I hope we'll be living together in Chicago. If you want to come to the Smart Nonsense Summit, we'll definitely not be hosting that because there are like 4 people that follow us. But if you made it to the end, Happy New Year and God bless.
Happy New Year.